The billionaire Adrian Cole couldn't believe his eyes. His 8-year-old daughter Ella had been reduced to a slave in his mansion. He was furious, angry, his voice thundering in the mansion. Adrian Cole is about to discover the truth behind the spiteful woman in his mansion, as well as the real reason why his daughter is being punished. Click on that subscribe button, give this video a like, and tell me which country you're watching from. Rain hammered against the mansion's glass walls as the black Rolls-Royce rolled to a stop. Adrian Cole stepped out, tall, sharp-suited, his face the mask of a man who built empires. But that night, the empire he built was about to break him. He hadn't been home for 6 months. Business took him across continents. Deals, contracts, interviews, all for a future he swore would make his daughter proud. But the moment he stepped into the house, he felt it, the silence. Not the peaceful kind. The kind that screams, "Mr. Cole, welcome back," the butler stammered. His eyes didn't meet Adrian's. "Where's my wife? And Ella?" Adrian asked. "Madame Vanessa is in the lounge." "And Ella?" The man hesitated. "She's somewhere inside, sir." That pause, that hesitation was the first crack in his world. Adrian walked through the marble hallway, the sound of his shoes echoing like a clock counting down. The mansion looked different, colder. Family portraits had been replaced by abstract art. Vanessa's touch, he thought. She liked expensive things that said nothing. He pushed open the living room door, empty. Upstairs, faint laughter drifted from behind closed doors. Vanessa entertaining guests, probably. But something else caught his ear. A soft, muffled sound from the dining area. A child's sob. Adrian froze. No, it couldn't be. He followed the sound, every step heavier than the last. And then he saw her. Right there on the cold marble floor. His only daughter, Ella, wearing a maid's uniform, crying as she scrubbed the tiles. For a heartbeat he couldn't breathe. "Ella!" His voice cracked. She flinched, dropped the brush, and quickly hid her face. "I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry. Please don't tell her I stopped." Adrian's blood turned to ice. "Tell who?" She looked up, her little face red and swollen. "Stepmom said I have to finish before dinner or I'll sleep outside again." The words hit him like a punch. "Sleep outside." Ella nodded, trembling. He knelt beside her, lifting her chin gently. "Who made you do this?" "Stepmom. She said I have to learn respect because I broke her perfume bottle." Adrian's mind spun. He stood up, shouting, "Marcus!" The butler rushed in. "Sir, who did this? Who let my daughter?" "Sir, please," Marcus begged. "You've been away. Things have changed." Adrian's voice shook with fury. "Changed? My daughter is scrubbing floors." Marcus swallowed hard. Madame Vanessa dismissed most of the staff. Said Ella needed discipline. She forbade us from interfering. Adrian's fists clenched so tight his knuckles went white. "Where is she?" he asked, low and deadly. "By the pool, sir. She's hosting a dinner party." Adrian stormed through the corridor, his shoes striking the marble like thunder. Outside, music played, laughter floated, glasses clinked. Vanessa sat in a white silk dress, sipping wine beside her friends. The perfect picture of control until she looked up and saw him. "Adrian!" She blinked, startled. "You're home early." "Early." His voice sliced through the air. "My daughter is scrubbing floors in a maid's uniform." The guests went silent. One of them tried to excuse herself, but Adrian's glare froze her in place. Vanessa's smile faltered. "Darling, you're overreacting." "Overreacting?" He stepped closer. "She said you made her sleep outside." A flash of irritation crossed Vanessa's eyes before she masked it with a fake laugh. "Oh, please. Children exaggerate. Do you call this discipline?" Adrian barked. "Or cruelty?" The wine glass slipped from her hand, shattering. The party ended in terrified silence. Later, inside the mansion, Vanessa tried to regain her composure. She paced the room, lighting a cigarette. "You left me alone with a spoiled child, Adrian. She disrespected me, broke my things. She's 8 years old," he shouted. "And she looks at me like I don't belong here." Vanessa snapped back. "Like I stole something that was hers." Adrian's jaw tightened. "Maybe because you did." The words hung heavy. Vanessa turned cold. "Don't start your moral sermon. You left us. You left your first wife in the grave and ran into business meetings to escape your guilt. I was the one holding this family together. Adrian stared at her in disbelief. By breaking a child? Vanessa's lips twisted into a bitter smile. You think love keeps children in line? No, Adrian. Fear does. He took a step closer, his voice shaking. If you ever touch her again, I swear. She cut him off sharply. Or what? You'll leave again? You always do. Adrian stormed upstairs, shaking with rage and shame. He found Ella curled in her small bed, still wearing the maid's outfit. She tried to smile. Daddy, did I make you angry? No, Angel. Never you. He hugged her tightly. Her tiny fingers clung to his shirt. Can we go away from here? I don't like when she looks at me. That line shattered him. He tucked her in gently, brushing her hair. Sleep now. Tomorrow everything changes. But his eyes burned with tears he hadn't shed in years. Downstairs he could hear Vanessa smashing something, muttering his name in fury. He sat in the dark hallway, hands covering his face. The empire he built had become a prison, and his own daughter was its victim. Then faint footsteps approached. Marcus, the butler, whispered, Sir, there's something you should know. Adrian looked up. What now? Madam, she's been selling off your antiques. The safe in your study. It's empty. Adrian froze. He stood slowly, realization dawning like a storm. His voice was low, controlled, terrifyingly calm. She's stealing from me. And torturing my child? Marcus nodded nervously. Yes, sir. And she's planning to leave soon. With everything. Adrian's expression hardened. Not before I end this. He turned toward the window, rain still pouring, lightning flashing. In that moment the calm billionaire disappeared. What remained was a father ready for war. They say money blinds a man, but losing his child opens his eyes. Lightning cracked across the sky as Adrian marched toward the study. The safe stood open, empty. Jewelry boxes, deeds, gold coins gone. Only a note remained, written in Vanessa's elegant handwriting. You were never here when it mattered. Don't pretend to be a father now. His chest tightened. For a moment he almost couldn't breathe. Then his phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. If you ever want to see what's left of your fortune, or your daughter, meet me tomorrow, 8 a.m., at the harbor. Adrian's pulse quickened. The woman he'd married for comfort had turned into a threat. He looked upstairs where Ella slept. Not this time. He wouldn't let anyone hurt her again. Morning came gray and heavy. Adrian dressed in silence, eyes hollow but focused. Marcus pleaded, Sir, it could be a trap. Adrian answered quietly, It's already a trap. She's been setting it for months. He called his lawyer, then the police commissioner, arranging everything in minutes. But before leaving, he stood at Ella's bedside. She opened her eyes sleepily. Daddy, are we going somewhere? Yes, Angel. Somewhere safe. He kissed her forehead. Whatever happens today, remember, you're the best thing I ever built. The harbor was nearly empty, waves slamming against the pier. Vanessa stood beside a black SUV, her hair whipping in the wind, a single suitcase at her feet. So the king decided to come down from his throne, she sneered. Adrian's tone was ice. You took my money. You tried to destroy my daughter. Why? Vanessa laughed bitterly. Because you already destroyed me. You loved your first wife so much you turned me into her ghost. Every picture, every story, all about her. I was never enough. Enough to torment a child, he shot back. She's your little angel, isn't she? Vanessa's eyes blazed. She looks like her mother. Talks like her. Every time I saw her face, I remembered I'd always be second. Adrian stepped closer. You could have loved her anyway. Vanessa's voice cracked. I tried. But love doesn't erase jealousy. The suitcase tipped, spilling stacks of cash and stolen jewels. The police car lights flashed from a distance. The trap reversed. Vanessa realized too late. You called them? Adrian's expression didn't change. No one hurts my daughter, and walks away. She backed away, eyes wild. You'll regret this. Maybe, he said softly. But at least she'll be safe. The officers moved in as Vanessa screamed, her voice lost in the sirens and rain. Hours later, Adrian sat in the back of the car holding Ella. She looked up at him. Is stepmom gone? He nodded. She won't hurt you again. Ella whispered. Can we go home now? He looked out the window at the dark mansion in the distance. No, sweetheart. Not that house. Cut to the countryside. Sunlight filters through the trees as a small car drives down a dirt road toward a cozy cottage, the one his first wife loved. Inside, dust motes dance in the light. It's quiet, peaceful. Adrian kneels beside Ella, setting down her small suitcase. This was your mom's favorite place. We'll stay here for a while. She smiles for the first time in weeks. It feels like her. He nods, fighting back tears. That night, he sits by the fire, recording a voice note. I built companies, crossed oceans, chased power. But I never realized the richest thing I had was the sound of my daughter's laughter. He looks over at Ella asleep on the couch, wrapped in a blanket. For the first time in years he feels peace. Not the silence of absence, but the silence of safety. Marcus calls from the city. Sir, the papers are ready. Vanessa's been charged. The mansion's under your name again. Adrian answers quietly. Let it stay empty. Some walls aren't meant to be lived in. Morning birdsong replaces the storm. Ella plays outside, her laughter echoing through the open windows. Adrian steps out, watching her run through the grass, hair flying, sunlight catching her smile. She runs back and hugs him. Daddy, look. I made a garden just for Mom. He kneels beside her, tears in his eyes. She'd love that. Ella tilts her head. You're crying again. Happy tears, he says. Because you're free. She hugs him tighter. Evening falls. They sit on the porch together, watching the sunset paint the sky gold. Adrian speaks softly. Sometimes we lose everything to find what truly matters. Money can build walls, but only love builds homes. He glances at the camera, his voice steady, sincere. If this story touched you, remember. Protect the people you love before the world changes them. And if you believe love is stronger than greed, like this video, share it with someone who needs hope. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reach the heart. Because in the end, even a billionaire's fortune can't buy back a child's smile.